What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. And today we are going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Justice League 2021 Steppenwolf Mega Figure. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. I upload new videos constantly throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell icon so you stay notified when I do upload new content. And if you do enjoy this video or any of my other ones, please remember giving them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, and it lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, guys. It is a very small goal of mine to try to reach at least one new subscriber per new video that I put out. So please be my one new subscriber for this video. Thank you so much in advance. And if you guys want to support this channel in any way, all I ask is that you watch my videos from start to finish. That's all. As always, the information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. And once again, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Justice League 2021 Steppenwolf Mega Figure. Now, with it being a mega figure, it is going to run you an extra few dollars, with it being $40 retail, guys. This guy is a behemoth, though. You do get your money's worth, I have to admit, especially since I just recently bought the Shriek Build-A-Figure figure at Target for $30 retail, guys. A standard McFarlane figure for $30, and this guy was $40, so I have to say for $40 is not that bad, because that Shriek figure was worth at least $20 to me, but I know in the aftermarket it's going to go even more, blah blah blah. But what I'm getting at is price of toys are going up, guys, so be ready. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at all the fun stuff that this guy comes with. And of course, he comes with the typical DC Multiverse stand right there. Now, this stand kind of does very little with this guy and even the dark side, because their feet are so big and the holes are so big that they kind of don't hold the stand too well. The pegs go in, but they're very loose fitting. So I feel like they should have included the McFarlane DC flight stands with these guys. So not so much for flight poses and all that, but just so that it held them at the waist rather than pegged them in at the feet, because these things do very, very little. So while you're displaying your Steppenwolf and your Darkseid, I highly recommend you put a slight back tilt to them so that they don't fall forward, because I've been filming this review about 5-6 times or more. My phone keeps glitching out, and he's fallen over quite a few times. So just make sure you sit him back, especially if you have him on a tall shelf or a higher shelf, because he does have the potential to fall forward, especially with him being such a big, heavy, thick figure. You know, you have to get that weight distribution done well, or else you're gonna have him toppling over constantly. But besides that, he does also come with, of course, the trading card right there. You guys can pause the video and read that if you like. But with that being said, he does come with one last accessory, and that is, of course, his battle axe that he's holding. Alright, guys, so the final accessory he comes with is, of course, his battle axe from the movie. This is very nicely well done in terms of sculpting and everything. The only two gripes I have with it is I wish they would have added a more of a black wash on the handle to separate the handle and the actual head of the blade, or of the axe. But it is what it is, you know. I mean, it is still nicely sculpted, nicely detailed. As you can see, there's a lot of intricate details in this sculpt, so that's really nice. And even the blade itself isn't like a single blade. As you can see, it has like nice little detailing, cuts and grooves, so it's really cool. The only other gripe I have is as with all McFarlane bladed long weapon sticks, is that it's a very, very soft, pliable plastic, so it can bend and stay bent. In fact, my Darkseid came with his bent in the package, and I've yet to get it straightened out. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can just heat it up and then cool it down straight, but it's a lot of work for a toy that's $40, and it should have just came, you know, properly packaged and whatnot. And also, my Darkseid's arm, you know, pops off, so there's that too for $40. But at least you don't have the popping off issue with this figure, but you do have the issue of tight and loose joints. So you'll have a really loose joint, and then a really tight joint, and then a really loose joint, and then a really tight joint. You'll understand what I'm talking about as we get close, or when we take a look at his mobility and whatnot. But before that, let's pull him closer and take a look at his overall sculpt and detailing and look. And I have to say, this has to be one of the better, or one of the best McFarlane face sculpts out there. Granted, it is of a CGI monster, but hey, it looks pretty spot on to the Steppenwolf from the movie. The armor, it's okay, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like the overall sculpt of the armor, but I'm not too big on these random pieces sticking out. Like, I know it was part of his armor in the movie, but I feel like that's just something that just didn't translate too well to the figure. So I feel like he should have just left it as a flat armor piece, and I'm sure people would have griped about it, but I think the figure would have looked better that way. But that's just my personal opinions. Let me know down in the comments down below. Do you like these little random spikes poking out to give it the effect like it did in the movie, or are you like me where you'd rather have the figure without it and you think it would have looked fine with just the armor flat up against his body? Let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, guys, I'll go ahead and give you a side view right here, give you a back view, and this guy is so shiny that he just picks up the light and you can see all the nice detailing in the sculpt. It's kind of like a prototype sculpt, you know. Even down here he has like little fangs on his calves, which is really interesting and cool. Here's the other side profile and back to the front. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. He can look all the way to the right, all the way to the left, little bit of head tilt. He can look down at the Justice League that much. He can look up at Darkseid that much. He can... Okay, so here we go with the joints. This is what I was talking about. So his arms do go out all the way. He has a very loose shoulder joint, which goes 360. You also get a very tight top bicep swivel right there. And then a very, this is a medium swivel at the elbow right there. You only get single hinge elbows with these guys, but like I said, you do get range of motion from the bottom and the top of the bicep, so that kind of helps out, but still not, you know, it's not a double hinge elbow. You do get rotation at the wrist, which is really tight, and then you do get hinging in and out on the wrist. But when you hinge it out this way, you do get this weird hinge sticking out right there. I don't know if you can see it. And when you go down this way, you can see it right there. The fun thing about this figure for me is that I never noticed his hands in the movie. I never noticed that they look like this, like these claws and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fingers. I honestly didn't notice in the movie until they started releasing pictures of this figure, and I saw his hands and I was like, whoa, that's pretty interesting. But anyways, moving on with his articulation, he does swivel at both the top of the waist and at the bottom right there. And much like all the new McFarlane toys or DC Multiverse toys, the codpiece is a soft pliable plastic, so he could join the cheerleading squad and do the splits with them all day long. He can kick out that far, kick back that far. He does come with single hinge, or not elbow, but single hinge knees. No swivel at the knee, but you do get a slight swivel at the top of the thigh right there. Not a 360 swivel, but it hinges out, you know, pretty well actually. That's pretty good. These new McFarlane hinge joints down here on the hip are pretty good. Looking at his ankle articulation, it can go that far down and not too far up, pretty much flat because his armor stops it. He does have a very tight ball rocker joint right there, but he does have it. And of course, toe articulation. And he has two separate individual toes that are both separately articulated, which is really cool in my mind. So you can have one toe up, one toe down, or both toes up, both toes down, whatever you want. It's just a really cool feature and thing that he has, since he's not really wearing shoes, I guess. And then that's another thing I didn't notice in the movie, that Steppenwolf wasn't wearing shoes, but hey, it's a really cool feature on this figure. So yeah, guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and compare this guy to some other figures. So let me go get some figures and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so here we have Steppenwolf next to the DC Multiverse Justice League 2021 Darkseid and the DC Multiverse Superman. Now I do have the black suited Henry Cavill Superman, but he is currently on a flight stand in my Justice League display, and it would be a really hard thing for me to take that apart and bring him out. So I just brought a regular Superman so you can see for scale, since he is a standard DC Multiverse figure. So as you can see, Darkseid and Steppenwolf are about the same height. Steppenwolf does tower over Darkseid slightly because of his horns, but he looks a little thinner in terms of thickness compared to Darkseid. Darkseid seems like he's more of a power lifter, been working out for a little longer, and Steppenwolf's kind of, up and coming and, on his way towards Darkseid. But as you can see, Superman is not happy about the height difference, because he comes to about Steppenwolf's chest, as well as Darkseid's are right under their chest. So as you can see, these guys will tower over your Justice League figures. So that's really cool. So I just wanted to bring these two figures here for a quick comparison so you guys can see what they look like standing next to you know, the other big bad from the movie and DC Universe, as well as a regular standard figure from the McFarlane DC Multiverse line. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at some really cool pics I took of Steppenwolf, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez, and I do have a separate Instagram account called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez for my more planned out, thought out, more edited pics. So make sure you check that out, and if you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you did enjoy this video or any of my other ones, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, guys. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it, guys. As always, I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Magic Girl, aka the Buff Collector, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.